Trapped in an underground research facility where things have gone horribly wrong.
Oh, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it.
My main goal is to stay alive, with only one catch. I'm not allowed to use any guide. No Google, no YouTube, just me, myself, and this guy. I'm sure it'll be fine. This is 100 days of Abiotic Factor. With absolutely no idea what I was doing, I started day 1 by choosing my job, then some positive and negative traits for my character. After that, I found myself stuck in the cafeteria with this guy, Dr. Thule.
Ah, you're stuck here too, eh? Looks like Jaeger's locked out. Typical. See if you can let him in. Maybe he knows what's happened.
Looks like my first goal is to get the cafeteria doors unlocked. But no rush, right?
Thank you.
I grabbed a snack from the vending machines and peeked into the kitchen,
Ew.
where a little mutant potato was hopping around making itself right at home.
He kind of looks like a Cyndaquil.
I checked this back room with some very questionable looking vents, then looked through the window of this locked door. Yeah, it can just stay locked.
I'm shutting this door.
Maybe I'll search the bathrooms instead.
Paper scrap. Ooh, a toilet. Ooh,
That's nice.
boy, it is nice. Ooh, chef's hat.
Feeling a bit more fashionable, I tried to open the main doors, only to find they were locked, which left me with only one option: those vents. I chose the middle one first, finding only more duct tape and a dead end. Then, avoiding the one closest to the locked room, I went to the far right one next. That vent led to a hallway with a broken door and 2 more vents. I could hear the sound of some sort of creature from the one on the right and peeked inside. Through it was a room with some sort of alien-looking starfish and another creature that looked like it might be dead. Not ready to find out, I backed out and tried the other vent, which was blocked by a giant spinning fan. Great. Back to the monster room then. I ducked through the vent, snuck past the starfish,
I really don't like it.
and found the big thing was definitely dead. Looks like it bit off more than it could chew with this electric panel. At this point, I'd noticed that the time wasn't moving on my watch. I think because this is still sort of the tutorial. See, there's a tip right now. Yes, I should definitely craft some throwing nets before going any further. Net in hand, I cautiously peeked into the next room to find another potato waiting for me.
Hello, sir.
Oh, it's a Cyndaquil.
Can I throw this on you?
Fungus Cyndaquil.
Yeah. Stomp him. I did it.
I worked through a couple more vents, 2 dead ends with some duct tape, and then one had a toolbox in it.
I got a screwdriver.
The next area was full of pipes I could dismantle, and a surprise potato lurking in the corner.
No. Ooh. Oh,
Else.
stomp it. Ooh, deep breath. Okay, give me my net back.
Thankfully, I found a flashlight right after that, along with an email about a knife that unlocked this shiv recipe. I also dismantled a rolling chair for parts. Sorry, chair. All of this had led me to the cafeteria's kitchen, where the first mutant potato was waiting.
No. 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 No.
Did the Cyndaquil almost kill you?
It hurt me.
Oh, look what I found. A knife.
Ooh, yeah.
And another potato.
Ah. No, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you so much. Ah. Oh my gosh.
They're actually called pests, but what fun is that?
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, steak. Thanks.
My inventory was very full at this point, so I stashed some stuff in this first aid kit, freeing up enough space for this tasty pork chop and a very stylish, blood-stained chef's apron for armor. I picked up some other random bits and tackled this freezer potato,
I'm rapidly losing warmth.
before going through the door and finally to the room where Dr. Jaeger was locked out.
Hello? Over here.
Yeah.
You going to leave me standing here?
No, I'm not.
Someone needs to sort this out.
You reckon? What'd you get yourself locked out there
Oh.
for?
I'm not enjoying standing around out here. It was hours last time, and I don't feel safe at all.
He's gonna get killed, isn't he?
He needed me to craft an energy brick to let him in, so I started searching this next room for parts. But my inventory was full again, of course. I unlocked the double doors back to the cafeteria, dropped off the toolbox to use as storage, and then kept searching. I found tech scrap, some computers to smash for parts, and a broadcast about the power going out at night.
Here at the Gate Cascade Research Facility, safety and security demand we take our primary power network offline at night.
Oh, how fun. I dumped a few scraps in a trash can and got right to work on my first crafting bench.
Let's go. Poke, 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 poke. Oh, I hold it. Ah, that's much easier.
When it was done, I smashed another computer for the parts and finally made the energy brick just as Jaeger started beating on the door.
Oh, seriously? Okay.
You need.
Oh, no. Can I net him? Oh my goodness. No.
Kill.
No.
God.
I need to net him again. Whack, dude. You gotta die. Holy cow. Shut the doors. No. Take it out. Oh, he's dead. Really sorry about that.
Oops. I hacked up the monster that had killed him and put its radioactive pieces in a trash can. Guess I might as well see what's out here now. I was in the office sector. This place was way bigger and way
Please
scarier.
locate security personnel and follow evacuation procedures.
Hey, do I know you?
No.
Look, I don't know what's going on, but if the big voice says get out, I'd do what she says. Elevators are dead, so head for the main tunnel in manufacturing on level 2. There's maps over there. But me, I'm staying right here.
I checked the map, headed upstairs, and found 2 more of the purple potato pests. At the back of the room was a hologram message from Dr. Mance talking about a mysterious tentacle creature.
IS-171 is a stationary sessile entity that traps its food with a retractable tentacle.
Love that. I ate a pork chop to make some space and found some random scrap in a binder, money in a drawer, a rubber band ball, and a water cooler. I really needed rest, but pushed on toward the manufacturing sector. A metal door caught my eye on the way. It was locked behind a keypad I clearly don't have clearance for, and it wasn't long I reached the door to Manufacturing West. But things sure didn't look any better here.
Soldiers came through. They locked down manufacturing. Wanted information about the silos on level 3. But if you can find a power cell, we can use a forklift to open the door. Get out of here through the surface tunnel.
Well, looks like I won't be getting out of here till I find that power cell. At this point, my watch had finally started ticking, and that meant night was coming. I guess if there isn't any power, there won't be any light. I headed back to the cafeteria, only getting lost once, thankfully. I built a storage box that held way more than the toolbox, and sat in a rolly chair to rest. When I discovered you can actually roll around in it. Maybe this place isn't so bad. It would be better if I could shut these doors back, though, but no. So instead, I unlocked some pretty exciting crafting recipes, and spent a good while trying to cook this bioscrap. Spoiler alert, you can't cook it. Then, hoping to find or unlock a bed somehow, I went back into the office sector exploring. I found a tram that was stuck somewhere else, this very cold room with a couple of pests, and a locked box with a security officer named Alice.
I thought I was there, but I'm still here, am I?
I don't know what's going on in this place, but I sure don't like it. It was 6:50 now, according to my watch, and well past dinner time, according to my stomach. The vending machine cookies weren't cutting it, and in desperation, I decided to try cooking the radioactive meat.
If you have not already evacuated the facility, consider this your top priority.
I locked the doors while it cooked, and then, just as it finished cooking, the power went out.
Boy, I hope it's Pizza Friday.
In the quiet, I thought I heard someone talking and looked out the window to see Dr. Thule still sitting there. But it wasn't him talking. I hid on top of the kitchen counters, listening to the darkness and eating my slightly less radioactive dinner. Eventually, I got brave enough to have a quick look out the windows of the break room when I finally realized the couch was a bed. Good night. Hopefully, nothing eats me in my dreams.
Ooh, okay, we survived. Hi. I guess you made it too.
Resigned to this being my home for a while, I cleaned up the place a bit and made myself some breakfast. Then my weak bladder kicked in and I headed to the bathroom.
Oh no. Whoa, 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 whoa. You weren't in here earlier. Where did you come from?
Some pests had moved in overnight and surprised me, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. With that taken care of, I decided to explore the office sector more. My inventory was still giving me trouble though, I just didn't have enough space. So after checking out a few things, I went back and crafted a makeshift backpack from some cloth.
Backpack.
Only 3 more spaces, but I'll take it. Another storage box will help too, and I think I'll move this crafting bench and the other box behind some doors I can actually shut. That day's lunch came from the vending machine, and I got in another hour of exploring before the power warning.
Power down momentarily. If you have not already evacuated the facility,
Looks like it's ice cream I found in the freezer yesterday for dinner, and another night on the couch for me. I woke up to a loud noise that night, well before the power was back on, and peeked out the window. In the dark, I could see something moving around. I thought it might be one of the things that killed Jaeger, but whatever it was gone when the lights came back on, and I put these desks in front of the doors just to be safe.
Good as new.
By now, I was starting to realize food might be a bigger concern than the monsters.
I don't... I'm trying to get in the doors. I hate you so much.
Though they were still giving me plenty of trouble too.
That little bugger. Stop it.
Without much choice, I decided to explore further. There were plenty of computers to smash, another sneaky potato pest, and this mini kitchen with a slushy machine. As I found a can of peas in the cabinet to eat, I could hear big footsteps and a growl that sounded way too close for comfort. You know what? My backpack's full anyway. I made a chef's counter at home, hoping it would make me something better to eat. All it had for now was an ice cream recipe with ingredients I definitely don't have. Well, so much for that. With that plan dashed, I realized maybe those footsteps weren't all that bad. If I could manage to kill it, I could probably eat it. If it doesn't eat me first. So I headed back to the footsteps, finished my search of the kitchen, and peeked around these couches blocking the doorway. It was the same dog-looking monster that had killed Jaeger. I thought it was in another room and started checking lockers first, when it just walked right out there with me.
Die, die, die. Die, die, die. We gotta keep you covered.
Guess that's dinner figured out. Or so I thought. When I chopped it up, I only got bio-scrap this time.
No.
I did find this new basic backpack there, though. It wasn't long I heard more footsteps, and cautiously climbed up on some cubicles for a better view when I spotted it. I was starting to get the hang of dealing with the dog monster, throw a net on its head and smash it with the table leg.
Whack, 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 whack.
Then repeat till it's dead.
And whack, 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 whack.
Again though, I got nothing but bio-scrap when I hacked it up, and traded it at the vending machine for a soda. I bought a slushie too while I was there, unlocking something called a slushy bomb. Plus, the slushie gives temporary relief from heat and a brain freeze. Bottoms up.
Battery and electrical storage systems to power.
Still hungry, I tried cooking this normal potato I'd found. With no luck, I crafted myself this pipe club and continued searching and smashing everything in the office sector. Despite feeling more confident, this booger still gave me quite a scare.
I hate you. Okay, stomp it. Use a bandage.
But the only exciting thing I found was these magazines that unlocked some makeshift armor. Very nice. My pockets were full anyway, and I headed back to see what I needed to make them. Books and more magazines. I was able to make this chest plate and put it on along with this stylish karate headgear I'd found. Then crafted a heater, a plug strip, a battery, and this cafeteria tray shield. For dinner, I ate the tomato, a cookie, and the potato, leaving my hunger still half full. Then, before I knew it, it was night again.
Requires a source of energy during
As I explored the next day, I found more of the same. These books I needed were new, and this stapler too.
simply taking a moment to sit down.
Then I snagged a couple cans of peas, a lead vest, a bag of soil, and some tomato seeds. Ooh, that's just what I need. If I can figure out how to grow my own food, that'll take care of my hunger problem permanently. And just a few cabinets later, I found this hose that unlocked garden plots. Perfect. On my way back, I realized the security guard had stuff for trade, and I could charge my flashlight at this thing. Now, back to planting those tomatoes. The garden plot wasn't the only new thing I'd unlocked, but right now it was the most important. I won't make it long at all if I starve. I placed it easily enough, but of course it needed water, so I made a water bottle and was surprised yet again by a new pest in the bathroom.
Something.
Eventually, though, I got my first tomato planted. That still doesn't help my current food problem, though, and I ate a can of peas with a couple snacks from the vending machine. Before the lights came back on the next day, I checked my GatePal journal, which had some info about the different entities that I'd encountered. Looks like the starfish thing is called a carbuncle, and the dog monster a peccary. This one in the gym had respawned on day 6, and thanks to my new pipe club, it was a lot easier to deal with. And this time, it gave me meat again instead of bioscrap. Excited, I ran back to cook it. A little radiation is better than starving, I guess. I also replaced my couch with a bed that day and watered my tomato. I emptied the sinks for it, realizing that water would soon be an issue too. A little less hungry at least, I headed back to level 2 and found the other peccary had also respawned. This time, I got a skull when I chopped it up. Sharp melee is one of the character skills, and with it, you improve your chance of not getting bioscrap. I smashed a bunch of computers and a couple of the potato pests that tried to sneak up on me before calling it a day. Thankfully, I had plenty of meat for dinner now, except as I was cooking it, I got distracted and wandered away. I unlocked some new recipes and crafted some things. This helmet from the peccary skull, a makeshift crossbow, and this new portable stove, which reminded me. I had left something on the other stove. Uh-oh. Guess I won't be eating that one. I placed the portable stove and started a new dinner there. It was connected to the battery, so it kept cooking even when the power went out. Careful not to waste this one, I watched it closely, finishing the day with a much more filling dinner and a nice rest in my new bed. Day 7, I was feeling more secure about my food situation, but now I had a new problem. All my stuff kept breaking. To make a repair bench, I needed an anvil, which I found an email about later that day, along with a message about bad security bots. The email mentioned anvils in a supply closet on level 3. Perfect. I finished looting the biolab on level 2 that day, and decided to move most of my stuff in this break room with my bed. That's better. Then I tried my hand at making soup for dinner that evening, only to find I needed to level up my cooking skill first. Well, at least my tomatoes are done.
Tomatoes.
On day 8, I set out for level 3 in search of the anvils. This map showed an elevator and stair access, so I headed that way. Stopping to check this janitor's closet, I got quite the surprise from this guy.
I thought they were coming to help, but they weren't gatekeepers. They started shooting. I heard their radios, something about level 3. I'd stay away if I were you.
Who very clearly said stay away from level 3. Lucky me, the level 3 stairs were locked, and the button for the elevator didn't work. Darn. Just kidding. I kept looking for another path when I noticed the big level 3 sign through this security door window. It needs an energy brick just like the other door. You know, that one where Dr. Yeager got killed. I made a quick trip back to the cafeteria to grab one, and stuck it in, opening the door. Nervous about what I might find, I slowly made my way down the ramp. On the left was a security door leading back to the manufacturing entrance with the forklift, and on the right, an elevator. Despite a strong urge to turn around, I got on and hit the button. At the top, I could see a purple portal glowing through some glass, and in the same room, a dead body with neon green spikes stuck out of it. Maybe I'll check this other door. It was labeled level 3 access, but was very inaccessible at the moment, so I turned back to the portal room. Luckily, whatever had killed the guy was dead too. I skimmed the emails on this PC before checking out the body. It was something called an XOR. It wouldn't let me harvest it, and I moved on to have a look at the portal. There were plenty of radiation warnings and a very creepy sound coming from it. I was certain whatever was on the other side couldn't be good. In the end, deciding to wait, thinking I should probably try to craft some better gear first. On my way back down, I ended up passing by Grayson again.
Try level 3. The power cells.
Yeah, I know. Level 3. Sorry, potatoes. I need this water here. Now that I wasn't just getting bioscrap all the time, food wasn't near as much of an issue. I cooked pest rump for dinner, and just as the power was about to go out, I had to make a bathroom run. The lights went out just as I flushed, and I made a flying run back to my room. I know something comes out at night in this place, and I'd rather not find out what it is just yet. For the next couple days, I searched level 2 in hopes of improving my gear and putting off going into the portal as long as possible. In the gym, I found Dr. Shepard, who mentioned a surface tunnel through manufacturing that I can access if I get a power cell, which is somewhere on level 3 with the portal.
Whole sector away. If they think I'm walking all that way through their toxic machine shops, they can think again.
There was still plenty I hadn't explored on level 2. And I ended up finding another stack of magazines, just what I needed to duct tape around my arms for some extra armor. I also made this spiky club from one of the peccary skulls, only to find I wasn't even strong enough to use it yet. Well, darn. So I finished up the last of level 2 with another stuck tram, these locked doors, and 2 rooms. One room flooded with water and electricity, and another with a very interesting message about the dog monsters.
It's more intelligent than it first seemed. Dr. Manbanco even managed to teach it a few simple tricks, with only minor burns, I believe.
With all the doors checked and nowhere else to go, I gave in and went back to the portal on day 11. I didn't know what I might find on the other side, or if I'd even be able to get back. But I took my iodine like the whiteboard scribble said and walked right through. Through the portal, things looked a lot different. Everything looked very alien, and the portal I'd come through was nowhere to be seen. It wasn't long until I saw a new creature, this one on 2 legs, and shooting some sort of energy ball off into the sky. I stayed crouched as I grabbed this strange antiverse wheat plant, then slowly crept around behind it, hoping to find something else new, or maybe another portal to return through. Luckily, the monster was so busy shooting it didn't notice me, but as I followed the path, there was another one up ahead. Turning around, I worried about what I might do next, definitely not feeling equipped to take on these creatures. I desperately went back to where I came in and was relieved to see there was a portal there. Yep, that's enough of this place, thanks.
Yeah, I think you're not ready to go there yet.
I am glad I know now. Thank you. Goodbye.
You need to be more prepared.
I didn't get much from my trip except the antiverse wheat, which I used to make this super tomato seed. After that, I really wanted to be better prepared before going back. Maybe I can get strong enough to use that spiked club I made. So I checked my strength skill and learned I could improve it by carrying heavy inventory. Easy enough. I picked up 2 of the cafeteria tables, and just like that, every few steps I was getting strength experience. I'm exercising, look at me. Just a few levels and I'll have it. Next, I finally crafted myself a crossbow and some bolts. I'd actually made one before with a broken table leg. Yeah, it came out broken too. Speaking of broken, I crafted myself a shiv because I was all out of kitchen knives. Okay, sleepy time. After watering my tomatoes the next morning, I went back up the elevator on day 12 to make sure I hadn't missed anything. Surely I don't have to go past those guys in the portal to get to the anvils, right? I didn't find anything else up there and double-checked a few more places. Maybe Dr. Shepard has something new to say.
At least nothing in the C blocks has escaped. As far as we know.
Nope. I did manage to test out the crossbow, which is hard to aim and slow to reload.
Oh, he doesn't like you now. He's mad. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, throw that on his head. Whack him with the stick. Oh my goodness.
Crazy.
Whack. Baby. No, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you so much. You will die.
Then I headed back home, where I cooked another slightly radioactive dinner and worked out by running around with my tables. I leveled up my strength to 4 and my cooking skill hit level 3, which means now I can make that soup.
Oh yeah, cooking level 3.
I dumped in a tomato and some random meat I'd just cooked.
Ooh.
Before going back to working out until it was done.
Bad soup. Ew.
So much for that. I couldn't figure out how to dump it and just set it on the floor for now. I was back to trying to find some way other than the portal the next day, double-checking all the doors on level 2, then ending up back at the cafeteria staring at this locked room. I went through the vents again, gave myself a shock trying to harvest this peccary.
Oh no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Okay, bad, don't do that.
And carried the tables the whole way, continuing to level up my strength. As I was trying to do a bit of parkour, something green and sticky grabbed me.
Hello?
But I never could find out what it was.
Did something just attack me?
Other than that, I didn't really find anything new and headed back to my room. That night was sure interesting though. After getting some sleep, I looked out my window to see a grown man crawling around by the bathrooms. I kept watching, second-guessing what I'd seen. Surely that was just a dream. The next day wasn't much better, but I did harvest my first super tomato and realized there were actually recipes for the soup. I also realized I could craft a soup bowl, which let me dump the bad soup. Then I used tomato and salt to make a much more successful pot of tomato soup. At this point, it was definitely looking like I had no other option than to go through the portal. I couldn't even make this spear because all my kitchen knives were broken. There was one thing I hadn't done yet though, fishing. So I crafted myself a pole and headed to the swimming pool on day 15. Not expecting to catch much, I cast out the line, and figuring out how it worked actually took me a very long time. When I finally got it right, I reeled in a nice piece of bioscrap. Well, that's no help at all. I caught a couple staplers next, some pins, more bioscrap, and a couple empty mugs. I mean, I wasn't exactly expecting much at all, so I can't complain.
Ooh.
I kept going until I reached level 3 fishing skill.
Yeah, I'm done for now.
Which unlocked a new fishing trap and the ability to see these special fishing spots, like this one that showed up at the end of the pool.
Fancy.
Oh goody, more bioscrap. That night I looked out my window again for the crawling guy, this time seeing some sort of glowing light ball floating around instead. I was so close to hitting the level 8 strength I needed to wield the spiky club, I carried around the tables all day on day 16. When I finally hit it, I knew I was all out of excuses to avoid the portal. So I crafted this new shock trap and tried to get some rest that night. Creepy crawly guy was back too, which definitely didn't help. Somehow he seemed scarier than any of the creatures I've seen so far. Day 17 was April Fool's Day, according to my watch. Too bad it's not one of those holidays where you get the day off. I'd much rather have stayed home, but looks like it's back to the portal anyway. I took my iodine to help with radiation, loaded my crossbow, and in I went.
3, 2, 1,
And
jump!
we go. I hate it so much. Oh my goodness.
I think it's cool.
My plan was to sneak up and place the shock trap, then shoot the monster in hopes that it would run over the trap to follow me.
Oh no. Oh man, that hurt a lot.
Well, surprise. The monster can teleport. I didn't even realize it until it shot me in the back. Then, when I saw how low my health was, I made a quick escape through the portal.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Yep, that was just as bad as I thought it would be. I didn't turn around though. Instead, I used one of these healing shots and went right back in. The monster had returned to its job of shooting things in the sky. This time, though, I knew what he was going to do. I got just close enough that I could shoot him with my wobbly crossbow aim, then ran behind the tree before he could shoot me. I still wasn't quick enough when he teleported, getting hit once, then again when I panicked right into him. Excuse me. In the end, I mostly got lucky, I think. He got stuck and I whacked him in the back with my spike club, which must have made him bleed because he just up and died all on his own after that. Harvesting the body gave me a new Exor heart, and I went straight to this computer thing next, thinking it must do something important. But it was only a power plug.
Maybe you try to
I'm
use
so
the
disappointed. It's just a it's just a place. It's just power.
On to the next one then. Down the path, I set the shock trap again and took my shot. This one teleported right in front of me and I managed to hit it with the club once. Then it ran and I got another hit in before I had to run.
Ouch, that hurt a lot.
One more shot from it and I'd have been done. This was even harder than I thought. I almost turned around, but I decided instead to try a different strategy. When I was mostly healed, I started my attack again. This time I stuck to my crossbow, keeping a tree between the creature and me. Peeking out just long enough to shoot it. Would you look at that? I didn't even get hit once. Yeah, that'll probably be the only time. I got another Exor heart from this one and slowly continued, expecting another one. But there was only this message from Dr. Mance, a very dirty looking pond, and another portal. I was a little nervous, but I could see that it looked a lot like the office sector. I loaded my crossbow and walked right through. It dropped me out on these pipes in what appeared to be some part of level 3. As I hopped down and checked the time, this new notification appeared. The air feels strange. Be on guard tonight. Oh, great. That can't be good. I wasn't even sure where I was or if I could get back to my base. One door was locked and the hallway was blocked with electrified water, so I snuck past this orange bubbly looking thing towards the door marked Silo 2.
I hate you.
After dealing with a sneaky pest, I found it was unlocked and led right to the portal room. Oh, that must be Silo 2. Thankful that I knew my way home from here, I took the elevator back down, and from there ran straight back to my base in the cafeteria, trying to figure out how I could prepare for whatever was coming tonight. For a start, I'd found more magazines and made myself a set of leg wraps. Then I realized with the Exor hearts, I could upgrade my crafting bench. With this item transporter upgrade, I can craft from storage instead of having to have it all in my inventory, which may not help me defend the place, but it did help me craft this choppinator a little faster. I hooked it up to a battery just as the intercom lady was reminding me that night was coming, and power would be going out soon. Rushing now, I started putting up barricades. As I was finishing the last one though, I heard something behind me. What I assumed was a portal had just appeared right in the middle of my base.
Oh no, 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 no. What is that?
Get out of there now.
Y'all are right in my stuff.
On the other side of the barricades. It was too late to change anything, so I finished the last one and shut myself in with the portal. Still afraid of whatever was crawling around out there at night.
Warning, biological incursion detected.
I heard a new announcement on the intercom, and it wasn't long before a potato popped out of the portal. And then another. I tried to smash them with the heavy spike club, but it was too slow. I switched to my pipe and swung blindly at them in the dark. Eventually deciding whatever was out there was better than dying in here. I could see one of the glowing orbs floating around, but other than that, the only thing out here was one of the potato pests that had followed me out. After dealing with it, I went back in and smashed the last of them before they smashed my stuff. Ah, the air is normal again. Phew, glad that's done.
Well, breakfast.
I was filthy after chopping up the little boogers, and at risk of being sick now. Yeah, that's all I need. So I took a quick trip to wash up at a water cooler before finally getting some rest. The day before had been so stressful, I decided to stay home on day 18. I made this new soup recipe, looked over my skills, did some weight training with the tables, built extra storage, and then learned how to up my fortitude skill. You just have to take damage. Well, that's easy enough. On day 19, I headed back to level 3, looking for those anvils I need. I avoided the weird orange thing again and took a moment to gather myself before hopping across the electric water. Thankfully, I didn't end up like this guy. Floor is lava! There was some sort of check-in terminal here to respawn at, which worried me a lot, honestly. Should I be prepared to die? I continued on anyway, grabbed a map, and started looting everything.
Here at the Gate Cascade Research Facility, you'll have access.
I didn't find much new other than this box of screws. The anvils were supposed to be in a supply room, and it wasn't long I found this one locked. The room behind it was blocked by a peccary, but not for long. The door still wouldn't open. One of those starfish things was blocking it now, so I went around through a vent when it grabbed me. That's what the green stuff was the other day. It didn't seem to hurt though, and I smashed it, getting a raw carbuncle from it. Looks like I can make a vacuum with it. Okay. Back on track after that, I found another vent that led to the supply room, but there were no anvils to be found, so I checked the map and continued searching.
Dr. Derek Mance and our counterparts at...
Eventually, I saw a sign for Silo 3 and lots of warning lights. There was some sort of growling sound, and I heard this lady talking to herself.
Damn security door.
As I carefully approached, I could see another supply room with an anvil right through the window. First, though, I headed in to see what the lady was going on about.
I don't understand it. The systems locked us out.
While she was talking about trying to hack through the malfunctioning door, I could definitely hear something stomping around on the other side of it. It almost distracted me from the fact she said I needed to salvage a computer from one of the big security bots. Definitely looking forward to that. Feeling safer knowing whatever monster I was hearing was locked behind the doors, I finally grabbed the anvil from the supply room. It was attached to the stairs, which were broken at the moment, and I ended up taking the elevator back down. With my new anvil, I made the repair and salvage bench, finally allowing me to repair my kitchen knife.
Ooh. What is that? What?
I also crafted some new stuff, like this vacuum and a makeshift helmet. The next morning, I repaired and salvaged a few more things before going to have a better look at the security bot. It was hibernating and I whacked it a couple times before chickening out. I was worried if I destroyed it this way, I wouldn't get the CPU I need. Instead, I changed my vacuum and went back home to craft this armor stand. Looking good there, buddy. Then I must have lost track of time and found myself in the office sector when the power went out. I ran back in the dark. My flashlight wasn't on my hotbar, and I wasn't about to go digging through my backpack out here. That was a close one.
Hey, you got any food?
Huh? Dude. Even closer than I thought, apparently. The crawling guy was in my room and asking for food. I do have some food. Just give me a second.
So I was pumping iron the other day. That was delicious.
Okay.
Oh, lucky me.
After feeding him a pest rump and a tomato, he still really creeped me out. Go away! Come out here.
Is he infected or something?
And I let him into the kitchen to lock him out. You just stay out there, bud.
I love coffee in my coffee hole.
He said he likes coffee. I'm gonna get him some coffee. I couldn't resist seeing what would happen if I gave him coffee,
How'd you know?
but all I got was this new phrase.
Boy, you really know how to take the bull by the horn.
On day 21, I made a new soup, this sugary slop. Then I spent most of the day out looking for water for my tomatoes. Then, that evening, the air started to feel strange again when I'd gone back to explore level 3 some more. Oh, great. I finished looting the rest of the supply room and sprinted back to base. This time I had planned to get ready and wait outside when night got close, hoping the portal would appear out there. But after I took a quick nap, one appeared right by my bed. Then, as I was standing outside starting the Choppinator, a second one showed up. No. Why are there two? Go away. It wasn't too surprising that things would get a little more difficult. I really wasn't expecting this third portal though.
Oh, why?
That night ended up being quite an interesting one. I wanted to test out my new vacuum, noticing it worked on items and small creatures.
Biological incursion detected.
So I waited, and when the storm started, I sucked up the first pest that popped through. It got stuck on the end of the thing though, and I shot it out the door right into the choppinator.
Throw him into the choppinator.
Well, that's one way to do it.
That was so fun.
It made the storm a lot easier to deal with, and on the next day I took the elevator back to level 3. All of the creatures had respawned, but I knew how to deal with the pests and peccary now. There was plenty to loot, though nothing new or too exciting really.
Private note. It's undeniable that operations at Cascade are being monitored by external forces.
I checked everything out except whatever was behind all the locked doors. I just window shopped there. Then that evening I built more storage and crafted these new throwing darts, hoping for something better to help me fight the security bot. I tested them out on this plant first, then a pest, before grabbing some slushies to make some slushy bombs. Too bad I left my dinner on the stove to burn.
Yep, that one's on fire. Hurry, 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 hurry. I got that one.
In an effort to put off fighting the security bot, I worked on repairing the stairway to level 3 next. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Underneath the stairs was a vent that led to a ladder and another vent, which put me right above the electric flooded room with this guy.
Well, I knew this would happen. Ever since Varenkov's team took over Silo 3, you couldn't get a single power cell after that. Now look, they're precious antiverses, totally out of control.
I used a ramp to make sure I could get back, then hopped down to check the emails on this PC. Just a new sausage recipe. Not quite ready to risk my life getting the rest of it, I hopped down to this much safer room and headed home for the night, where I realized I could upgrade my workbench again. Now it'll help me heal if I'm in range, which will be really useful on those portal storm nights. Speaking of that, I was tired of the portals showing up right in the middle of my room, and thought I might move out into the bigger part of the cafeteria to make it easier to deal with. So I spent the morning setting up a new round of barricades in there. I also made this new pest goulash that day and got in a good workout with my tables before shutting myself in the bigger area that night.
Sneak a little nap in the break room.
I hear you, dude.
It was more open and I could hear the crawling guy somewhere, which freaked me out a bit.
Where is he? There he is.
Turns out he's in the kitchen. I thought pretty hard about going to look for the security bot, and ventured out to the office sector entrance that night. These glowing orbs were floating around there, and I threw a dart at one first, not sure if they would attack me or not. The dart went right through it, and I moved out a little further, having a look around with my flashlight. Then I chickened out and went back to bed. Fate had other plans for me though, and when I went out the next morning to look at the security bot, it wasn't there. Instead, it was right behind me. At first I started to run until I realized this was actually too good to pass up. I'd definitely rather fight it in the daylight. The battle was a long one and I learned a lot. It was big, slow, and stupid, but not to be underestimated.
Ooh, that's bad. Okay, don't get close to him.
I hit it with everything I had, including these boom bait bombs. In the end, I made a quick run home for more ammo.
I'll be back. Stay there. No!
And when I came back, it was on its charger again. At least I know what to expect now. I spoke with the security guard about trading again after that. He had some new stuff, including this employee locator for one of the peccary skulls. I know where to find one of those, but it only gave me bile scrap, and I took my anger out on the potatoes. That evening, I got the strange air warning again, and I decided that the portals just appear randomly near you, so I didn't go anywhere near my little room. I just wanted a little more space to fight in, but no portals ever appeared at all. Unsure what was going to happen that night, I waited. The air felt different, and then it was normal again. Okay then, I sure won't complain. When I woke up, one of the pests was trying to destroy my Choppinator though. Then in my room, I had a surprise waiting. Oh, hello. I'd noticed his name was Coworker, but after trying to hop over him, I shut the door on him, literally. Sorry, you gotta stay out there. The lights came back on for day 26, and I was ready to go fight the security bot again, except Coworker was now blocking my door. Worried I'd be too late, I ran around the other way to hustle and catch it. This time I had plenty of ammo and knew exactly what to do. Get it stuck on these stairs and just keep shooting. Along with the CPU I needed, it also dropped a bunch of pop. And when I hacked it up with my knife, left me with some metal scrap and a new robot oil. When I got back to base with it all, I started working on a keypad hacker, only to find I actually needed 2 more security bot CPUs. But look, I didn't realize I could craft these healing syringes. It used the antivirus wheat I'd collected through the portal. I'd almost forgotten about it and planted some that day. Plants near the upgraded workbench also make you heal better, so that's nice.
Wada.
Its healing range reaches into the bigger part of the cafeteria too, where I stayed that night. I worked out with my tables before going to bed, then woke up to find one of the little orbs floating around. This time I tried to catch it, only for it to disappear right through my fingers. I found the next closest security bot that morning, this one on level 2, grabbed a peccary skull while I was there to repair my glove, and made myself a pot of peccary goulash with the other bits. Tasty. I finished the evening testing out the vacuum on something other than pests, trying to figure out what was up with these gross orange things, and restocking on slushies for freeze bombs. Before the lights came back on the next morning, I crafted a ton of bolts and darts. I was hoping to catch the security bot out like I had the other one, but when I got there, it was already asleep on its charging station. Then, after working on my combat skills, I noticed the first one had already respawned.
Ooh, he's back! I can kill you again now.
I was pretty excited and planning to take it on the next morning, until I got another purple storm warning. As I tried to leave my room, I heard the first portal form right behind me. Daggone it. I made myself a backup vacuum and charged it, took a quick nap and a bathroom break. Then, when I was grabbing a cup of coffee, another portal appeared.
Oh no, what did you do that for?
There's 2.
It wasn't long, the lights went out and the storm started. I kept expecting something bigger to come through, but it was still just more potatoes. After all that, I had to clean myself off and didn't deal with the security bot yet. I did figure out you can just pick up these orange things, and they're called gaseous nests. What they're used for, though, I still don't know. Day 30, I got out early enough to see Coworker being extra creepy. Mr. Security Bot was already on its charger, though. Then, on day 31, after another interesting encounter with Coworker...
Hey, could you spare a bite to eat? Oh, thanks a bunch. You're a real pal, you know that?
I finally caught it out early again. I mean, it's not cheating if it works, right? After collecting its CPU and plenty of pop, I went back to the electric water room that day. Along with quite the shock, I got some 9mm ammo out of the deal. I guess there's a gun somewhere I can use this for. I also found a couple of email terminals I hadn't read yet, including this very macho man and another one on level 3 with some info about the orbs. Maybe I can vacuum them up. Nope. Day 32 was another portal storm night with 2 portals this time. The vacuum made them much more manageable. And when it was done, I decided it was finally time to go out at night. I didn't want to wait for the same security bot to respawn, and I needed to get a move on. There were orbs floating around and Coworker creeping, of course, but I didn't see anything else out and about, except for the security bot I was looking for. With the third CPU, I was finally able to make the keypad hacker on day 33, and took it straight to break into the back door of Warren's security office. I couldn't actually get to him or his stash of goods, but I did find more ammo and this really cute bobblehead instead. Next, I used the hacker to unlock this slightly dangerous looking door with a red warning light flashing above it. I was expecting some sort of creature to come out. Inside it, though, was this very pretty pink tree, a statue that suspiciously looked like someone turned to stone, and several of these pods that I thought might be teleporters. I couldn't figure out anything to do there, and moved on to try the keypad on this locked storage box. No luck. I took it the next day to unlock this room on level 2. It had more ammo and an interesting message from Dr. Mance.
Peccary can be taught to respond to basic commands.
Apparently, you can train the peccary somehow. I could definitely use a guard dog. After that, I finally took the keypad hacker up to level 3 to show Dr. Mayfield.
I still don't understand it. The system shouldn't have locked us out.
She didn't seem to care, so I took it around and unlocked the door. I could clearly hear something stomping behind. No, there's a bad guy. Oh, no. I had just been expecting one of the dogs, but it was one of the two-legged Exor I'd fought in the portal. I wasn't prepared for you. Thankfully, I know how to deal with them. Behind that was another keypad door, and this time just a simple pest was waiting to fight me. Oh, and a big trail of blood that led me to this guy.
Scientist, do not reignite the rift. There are abominations within if you will not stop yourself. We will.
Well, that's reassuring. Of course, the whiteboards behind him had notes about the power cells I needed to get out of this place, and I can only assume they're through whatever rift he was telling me not to open. Great. I figured the keypad here probably opened some sort of portal, and I wasn't sure if the abominations he was talking about would come through when I opened it. I think I'll come back tomorrow. I finished searching the rest of the place, finding some lockers downstairs and a new hazard suit that's also radiation proof. I put it on just in case before going through these doors into the fog, then chickened out and turned around. It's getting late anyway, and I need to get my table workout in. I'm so strong I have to carry 3 now. Putting off opening that rift the dying soldier was telling me about, I went and opened up this big security office with the hacker on day 35. Another doctor was hiding here, and they didn't have much helpful to say at all.
Do you have any idea what's going on?
I do not.
Oh.
There was something really helpful in this locked shooting range, though. A pistol. I got a gun. I did.
That's cool.
I'll take that, thanks. The place looked like it would make a nice base, if I could just shut the doors back. It says I need a controller to repair them, which requires another security bot CPU. For now, I made a trade with Warren for the employee locator and equipped it. I could clearly see all of the friendly employees highlighted now, right through the walls. Where did this guy go? Oh, and look, I'm finally using my shield to block. Turns out you actually get more fortitude that way. I'd been letting them hit me just to level it up. I missed the security bot the next morning and took my anger out on some other creatures, then spotted somewhere I hadn't been yet. This metal walkway led to a ladder and down to some sort of giant pipe system where a pest was chewing on some poor guy. Guess my employee locator only works on the live ones. Beside him was a new security backpack, which gave me just enough space to pick up the other things laying around. Finding the door locked, I followed this very large pipe. It led to the outside of the building, I think. Maybe we're in some sort of giant cave. Either way, I didn't dare look down, and with nowhere to go from here, I turned around. I found some screws on my way out, which would have been much more useful if I'd discovered this place before getting to level 3. After that, I finished looting that security office, breaking into this locker room portion. It had plenty of random junk, a bathroom, and a back door to the manufacturing entrance. Nice. Oh, and it's portal night again. Surprise! I left early the next morning to make sure I didn't miss a security bot to get the CPU I needed. then crafted the controller with it and headed back to the security office. The controller fixed the doors so I could possibly move here if I wanted to. It would be a little closer to the new level 3 area, just a lot of extra work I'm not sure I want to do. I went back to it that day, Silo 3, and was surprised to find the Exor was already back. Not for long. I put my hazard suit back on and went into the foggy place. As I slowly inched forward, I got this notification about portal worlds. Well, I guess I definitely need to open that portal. Just not today. Day 38 wasn't very interesting, except I finally figured out how to catch those orbs. Their note in my journal said something about glass, so I grabbed a soup bowl and these test tubes. I tried the soup bowl first, and it worked. Sorta. It was actually the test tube in my inventory that grabbed it. Either way, I caught one. Now, if only I knew what to do with it. Day 39 was pretty boring too. I think I was just trying to find anything to do to put off opening that portal. Then on day 40, I finally did it. Past the Exor again.
Ow.
This little pest too, and then to the keypad. Immediately having second thoughts, I tried to shut one of the security doors back, locking in whatever portal I'd just opened. But the doors didn't move. Maybe if I just pretend it's not there. As if I had triggered it, there was a portal storm that night.
Why?
Thankfully, just more of the pests I vacuumed up and sent to the Choppinator. I took out the security bot again the next morning and spent most of the day looking for clean water to wash off all the monster gunk so I didn't get sick, then decided I should reach the next fortitude level for a health generation bonus, before finally getting brave enough to go through the portal on day 42. Through the Exor again and the pest, I tested out this blue terminate fog button that didn't work, then donned my suit and headed through the portal. It looked like I was in some sort of kid's treehouse, in a place called Flathill. I could see particles in the air and another portal nearby, but nothing dangerous on the ground, so I climbed down. Everything seemed extra creepy here, and I was waiting for something to jump scare me as I started searching. I found another dead soldier with an MRE beside him, and didn't even notice what was lurking in the room behind him. Then, after looting the place of peas and salt, I took the only unlocked door out the side, through another room and into this old ice cream shop. In the next building, I could see an employee of some sort and was trying to get to him when I noticed a very large skeleton creature stomping down the street right towards me. Thankfully, it turned around and I continued my search. Some ammo, money, a bathroom.
Oh, I love that. It's the long dark.
A much better view of the monster, an event that led me to this guy.
You want out? Of course you want out. Like them, the giants. You are trapped here. But shut down the devices. Your devices. Remove the power cells. 1, 2, 3. You'll have your way out. But what then? When you've opened your door, what then? Hey?
This laptop out back seems to imply that too, calling it the Flathill Containment System. Well, that sounds fun, don't it? I took one last look around, finally noticing the creepy thing behind this locked door. You know what? It's getting late. Time to go home, thanks. That night, I looked over the Flathill notes and got it in my head that the devices might actually be the big stomping guy. Surely I'll have to kill it to get the power cell. It seems a bit dumb now, but either way, I went back through the portal and headed towards the giant, until I got this notification. I wonder how many people tried to defeat them before they added that little note. New plan then. Can I sneak past it? No, I'm a big chicken. Maybe I missed some other way. I hadn't though, and ended up back at the giant. There was a very clear pattern to its walk at least, so I waited and just ran for it. Only to find the doors were locked and ran back. The email had mentioned rooftops, and I tried that next, using these dumpsters to climb up on the ice cream shop. I ended up dropping down into a new part of the street, then completely panicked when I realized all the doors were locked. There was a big garage door covered in some sticky goo, too, but only one way back off the street. through this truck and right past the giant. I backed out at first before finally making a run for it when he went the other way. Man, I really hate this place. Oh, and now the air feels strange. So I hustled home to get ready for the storm. Off we go into the purple portal. On day 44, I decided to have another look at the original portal to see if I'd missed anything and headed back to Silo 2. I stopped to look down at this hole on the way and had a mishap with the elevator. Oh, that terrified me. I should have died. Then it was back through the portal. The XOR were much easier to deal with. I'd leveled up, though I did get a little bit worried with the second one. Once they were out of the way, I looked all over for something new, before making a quick run home to grab a fishing pole. I know it's here somewhere. In the portal pond, I ended up catching something called antifish, which unlocks some interesting new recipes. That evening, I chopped them all up at the chef's table, using some of the parts for crafting and cooking up their fillets. Not exactly the advancement I was hoping for, but at least it was something. I spent the next couple days researching the entire office sector, looking for anything I might have missed, mostly just avoiding going back through the portal to foggy old Flathill. It wasn't until day 46 that I actually found something. There was an employee I'd missed up in the ceiling on level 3.
It's not my fault. I work on power cells, not portals. They take them into Silo 3, and I never see them again.
Of course, going on about the power cells. I stacked a chair on this table to get up into the ceiling, and found it led to a space over the electrified lab. I continued dealing with a pest, and then falling through the ceiling to almost break my leg. I was getting tired anyway, and headed back to get a splint. Guess I'd better make sure my vacuum is charged. I went back to the guy in the ceiling on day 47, this time being more careful not to fall through the tiles. Every path I could find just led to places I'd already been. Luckily, I didn't go home empty-handed though. I finally realized you could package a fridge. Now I can keep my food fresh longer, and it has better radiation protection too. That evening, I had one more place to double check, before having no choice left but going back to the giant in Flathill, the very first place I explored, the vents around the cafeteria. I'd completely forgotten about the room with the big fan I couldn't get past. As I was hitting it with my pipe club, the answer finally hit me. Duh, this one made me feel really stupid. All I had to do was wait. Until dark, that is. With the power, so went the fan. And just like that, I was past it. I wasn't surprised when it led to the blood-stained room at the back of the cafeteria and prepared for the worst. There were a few things to loot, this large busted pipe, and another room where Coworker was hanging out. I think I'll just come back in the morning. Coworker was gone when I went back, and inside the room I found an anvil. All that time I was looking for anvils, and there was one sitting right here. There were some other goodies as well, and a dead-end closet. Guess it's back to Flathill. Well, after another quick bathroom break anyway. At this point, I knew I had to sneak past the giant. I just really didn't want to. Eventually, I got the nerve up to move to this bus stop, noticing another giant I thought was walking away from it, and I headed straight for this gate door. Locked, of course, and right behind me was the giant walking my way. It gave me a heart attack, but luckily didn't notice me, and I hunkered down behind the bus stop again. Did I mention I really hate this place? There was a third giant walking back and forth on the other side of the fence, and I waited, trying to get a feel for their patterns. Then, when it felt right, I made a run for a new set of doors. Definitely not getting through that one, so I hurried back to hiding. I was waiting and trying to decide on my next move when one of them made a new sound and its footsteps changed. It had spotted me. I ran and ducked inside the video store, where it tried to get me through the door, before giving up and going back to its walk. I made one more attempt, only to have this one turn around and surprise me in the worst way. Yep, that's enough for today. Maybe Coworker isn't so bad after all.
Creme de la creme.
I went back on day 49 and thought about going down this manhole I noticed. I chickened out though and instead ended up over near this playground, finding my way into a bathroom to hide. One of the giants noticed me and tried its best to grab me. When it finally gave up, I went back and found my way down a different manhole. It looked more appealing somehow, but only led to a locked door and some very dirty looking water. After a bit more sneaking, I eventually found some doors that weren't locked. It was a fancy building that thankfully seemed empty. There were some doors that looked so creepy I didn't even try opening them, some stale nachos, and plenty of the usual office supplies. I went up the stairs, checking the doors, locked and locked. Before I checked the next one, I heard some giant footsteps and skipped ahead to see where they were coming from. Yeah, not gonna complain about that door being locked. The yellow door I'd skipped was actually unlocked and led to the rooftops, where I finally found what I'd been looking for so long, a power cell. I was a little nervous to pull it out, hesitating for a moment. With a loud sound and a flash, a portal appeared as soon as it was out. It was late and I didn't like the looks of it. Heading back with my shiny new radioactive power cell straight to the forklift to open up manufacturing. So I headed back with my shiny new radioactive power cell straight to the forklift to open up manufacturing, which I'll check out more tomorrow. It's about to get dark. I went back the next morning and followed the only path that wasn't locked. I was nervous, expecting something bad to be around every corner when I ran into this lady.
Stay quiet. They'll hear you.
Apparently monsters aren't the only thing I should be worried about.
At first, I thought it was an accident. Those creatures everywhere. But then these terrorists came, hunting us. If I can just get to the blacksmith, he'll know how to get out of here. I'll open the door for you now, but I'm telling you, they're shooting at anything that moves. Be careful.
She opened a door for me, which led to another way to get into manufacturing, where I heard something that made me back up. That sounded a lot like gunfire. After it stopped, I stayed crouched and continued, finding this very loud door that unlocked a quicker path. Then I heard this guy on the radio.
Here in the crane. The glass is bulletproof, but these guys don't know the meaning of give up. Figure the best thing I can do is distract them so they don't notice poor suckers like you. I'm guessing you're looking for a way out. You could push straight through if you got the guts. Or you could get smart and work your way around them. Head for the garage. Try and touch base with the blacksmith. He ain't going anywhere. I know what I'd do.
I'm not sure what he would do, but I don't think I have the firepower to go straight through. Sounds like I'll be looking for the blacksmith next. I found this button to press, debating for a while before finally doing it. These big doors are so loud I kept expecting the bad guys to come running to see what all the commotion was. The air was starting to feel strange again and I decided to head home when I noticed a new person showing up with my employee locator. It was Marion, the creepy guy from Flathill.
For what do you seek? To freed the giants? If I can assist, I shall.
Oh, great. That sounds fun. Then, as I was charging up some weapons, I spotted someone else new that wasn't showing up with my locator.
What? Who's that?
I left the guy alone for now and continued getting ready for the portal storm. I was pretty terrified, assuming that now the giants from Flathill were going to start roaming around the place, and something new was probably going to come through the portals. But the portals never appeared. and neither did the giants. Around midnight, though, something did. Instead of pests, it was definitely something bigger.
All vacant perforations will be resetting in 3, 2, 1. Reset, please.
They broke through my barricades quick, and I started shooting in a bit of a panic. Not sure how many I'd have to deal with. I took down 2 of the peccary dogs, and then there was only an Exor left. If it hadn't been for the light from its energy blast, I don't think I could have hit it. If only I could hold my flashlight and throw stuff at the same time.
Woohoo, okay. Well, that was fun.
I spent most of day 51 working on replacing the barricades and adding a bunch of lighting outside. I'd noticed these lamps don't go out with the power and placed them all around my defenses. Then, stressed out, I decided to stay home for the day and make soup. Day 52, I made my way back to manufacturing, finally spotting a couple of the bad guys before giving this ladder a try. It didn't look very safe on the road, so I decided to try this door behind the ladder, which led to some boxes blocking the path. These looked fancier with yellow and black striping, and inside was something new, rebar. Ooh, I'll take that. And the next room was an empty security bot station, which worried me at first, but it didn't take me long to find the bot. It was sitting destroyed on the other wall, which might be a little more concerning actually. And in the next room, I spotted some sort of military guy. Maybe I'll come back. I backtracked and had a peek at this poor fella's vehicle. Then I headed home to see what all the rebar had unlocked before going to introduce myself to the new neighbor.
Where is it?
He looked a lot less intimidating than the military guy and ran when I attacked him, which was fine at first, until I started to worry he was just going to tell on me.
Where are you going? Oh, no, 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 no.
When I finally managed to kill him, I got a rat suit, rat scanner, and his skull. The suit seemed just like my hazard suit, so I stuck it in storage. Then I scrapped the skull, which left me with his brain. I really wasn't sure what to do with it, checking soup recipes, trying to trade it to Warren, and unsuccessfully trying to cook it. The rat scanner ended up making quite a good whacking stick. I tested it out on the usual monsters before heading back to manufacturing again. I finally made some progress that day, taking on the military guy with a slushy bomb and throwing darts. He was in some sort of break room with plenty of food and an educational video on forklifts. The next room held pests and a fire extinguisher. Then around the corner was another military guy. I left him alone for now, looting a few things and heading back home. I was already getting tired of going back and forth, so on day 54, I decided to start a second base. I loaded up one of these carts with the heavier items and pushed it to the big security office on level 2. Then spent the day setting up stuff and clearing out the place. I kept my old base, not fully committed to moving everything, and I wondered which base would be attacked when the next storm came. Guess I don't have to wonder for long. After one more trip for this stove, I came back to find a portal in the cafeteria. Guess I'm staying here tonight. I doubled up the barricades, preparing to deal with pests and the bigger baddies that had arrived last time, but that night it was only the pests. I took out the security bot yet again the next morning. This time I needed its CPU to make some things for this new enhancement bench. Look, now my gun has a flashlight. Or does my flashlight have a gun? I spent the rest of the day in manufacturing, exploring some vents that led to this Exor, more emails to read, and another mysterious machine. On day 56, I made something new with the rebar, this fancy thermal mallet. I'd also picked up these gloves I combined with rebar for better arm protection, out the thermal mallet on the office critters, before deciding to make this net gun too. That night I was a little braver and went out in the dark, making sure to feed my coworker, of course.
Thanks, that hit the spot.
I was looking for another security bot to fight, and ended up just finding the level 1 bot was back. I was starting to feel a bit sorry for it. Thanks for the drinks, though. I made my way back through the vents again on day 57, taking out the same XOR, but chickening out before going any further. I just really don't want to die. That night, the air was strange again, but no portals appeared, and the bigger creatures didn't come either. When I headed to my second base the next morning, though, I got another notification. Then, just as quick, everything was normal again. Maybe my extra base has the game a bit confused. I was starting to finally get more confident in the manufacturing area, testing out my net gun on a couple of baddies, and finding my way under the garage where this lady was hiding.
Am I in your way? You're evacuating, aren't you? And trying to keep out of sight. I know the feeling. Frake asked me to get something from the blacksmith. She's got a plan to get us out of here. It's extreme, but it just might
She didn't have much more advice to offer than the last employee, still just telling me to get to the blacksmith. So I finished clearing out the garage that day. It was mostly more of the same. I was afraid there would be a lot more of the military guys out on this main road, and tried to look through all the windows before going any further. By the end of it, I'd finally found something pretty exciting: the tram. I was a little worried it might lead somewhere bad, and sent it without me first, running home to find it was there, right beside the cafeteria. Sorta defeated my closer base plans, but I'm not complaining. That night, I caught a pest in a trap I'd built with some nachos. I tried feeding it some random stuff I had, but obviously it just wants more nachos. Luckily, I had one tray left, and it ate that. When I let it out, though, it still wasn't very friendly. Oops. At least you'll make a good soup. I rode the tram back on day 59 and took a good look through the window before unlocking another big door. I was pretty sure that's the blacksmith on the other side, and as far as I could tell, there wasn't anything dangerous lurking nearby. I'll just see what's around this little corner here first. Surprise. Other than these sneaky potatoes and several cans of peas, there was only a door locked behind a level 2 keypad I couldn't hack and a welding mask I already had. A little jumpy after that, I was trying to look around the next corner when the blacksmith started talking and spooked me again.
Where'd you come
He had a boiling pot of solder sitting there and gave me the rundown on my next goal.
Look, we don't got a lot of time. Radio's out. Frake's gone AWOL. And the place is crawling with gunned-up psycho cowboys. Roadway's locked up tight, so you need to find a way through the security doors up there. Maybe you can hack through somehow.
A level 2 keypad hacker, which of course needs a power cell. I did some window shopping, checking out the stuff he had for trade. Then I followed this door that was labeled Mapping Center. It led across a big open space to a room with an XOR inside and another portal. Oh. There was a potato surprise here too, and some stuff to loot. Ugh. Including this new steel cable, which unlocked all sorts of things. In the portal, I thought I saw the pink tree from the room on level 1, and hopped right through. Only instead, I found myself in the electrified lab on level 3, with a radiation warning sign blocking my path. I could have walked around it, but decided it would probably be smart to go get my radiation suit first, which ended up being the perfect plan for day 60, because I woke up to find the whole place had turned green with a radiation leak. I took the tram back to manufacturing that day and traded for more steel cable from the blacksmith before making my way back to the portal. Exploring the electric lab wasn't really that interesting, except for this gate crate I can't even open yet. I unlocked the doors to level 3 and instead went on a killing spree. Back in manufacturing the next day, everything had respawned, and at this point I wasn't missing any opportunities for extra experience to help me level up. I ventured further this time, making my way up a hill and into some sort of tunnel where I met this guy named Kovac.
My friend, this is no place for the careless. I need to get to the surface tunnel. There will be a weakness. I will not be left.
At the other end, I found a pickaxe and another purple portal. Inside this one, all I could see was space, which freaked me out a lot. I don't think I'm ready for that. I'd gotten the strange air warning that day, but nothing ever came until I went to my second base the next day. Smashed potatoes, anyone? It was day 62, and about time I get around to finally looking for another power cell, I guess. So I headed back to my favorite place, Flathill. I snuck past the giants as usual, and made my way into the building where I'd found the first cell. This time, there was a new creature inside. Was that there before? It had been long enough I couldn't remember if I'd even looked into that room, which left me feeling extra spooked. Had it been there the whole time? I left it alone and went back to the rooftop, where the first power cell was back. I'll take that, thanks. Nothing new happened, but I decided it was time to try the portal it had made last time, which just spit me out on another rooftop. I could see some sort of bowling alley through the windows and gave this vent a try.
I'm not going down in the hall.
With what looked like a one-way exit, I decided against it for now. Then went the next morning to get the rest of the military electronics I needed, before finally turning my Tier 1 hacker into a Tier 2. I took it straight to this door on level 2, where I found a creepy painting and a briefcase, which was new. There were just boxes in the next room, and then the path down the hallway was blocked with more boxes. As I cleared them out, I saw something down the hall. It looked a bit scary, but I broke the rest of the boxes anyway when I spotted these two power cells. I grabbed them and left, not ready to take a closer look at whatever was at the end just yet. The next morning, I discovered I was strong enough to shake the vending machines now, before I took out the security bot again. Turns out you need these CPUs for all sorts of things. After that, I went back to the scary thing in the hallway, and it turns out it's just some form of alien crate that, of course, I can't access yet. Then, the end of the hallway just opened up into this place I'd already been before. There was another radiation leak on day 65, so I wore my suit to manufacturing, where I used the level 2 hacker to open the door above the blacksmith. It was empty, really, except for this vent, which led to nowhere exciting either. I went back up the hill and to the left this time, where a guy was standing guard. I froze him, but wasn't prepared for his buddy to attack. They seemed tougher, and while I was fighting them, something else joined the fight. An Exor. I'm pretty sure him and the second guard finished each other off. And the guard dropped this new ornate key, which didn't look anything like the crates I'd seen. Inside the room, I found a switch to turn off the radiation leak, another message from Dr. Mance, and a power cell.
And intriguingly, several divergent adult forms.
I took the power cell to put in the forklift in the garage, and took it for a joyride. I think you use it to move stuff like the cart, but it seems a little more trouble than it's worth. I headed home after that and made myself this fancy new heater shield, then this tram station key. I tested out the heater shield on day 66 while looking all around the office sector for rubber band balls. I was almost out of my favorite throwing darts and needed them to craft more. I charged my hammer the next morning and headed back to manufacturing. I'd put off going up this elevator and finally checked it out, finding one guard to deal with, and this poor guy who hadn't fared so well. There was a locked door and a few goodies to grab, plus a nice overview of this very radioactive area.
Nuclear stuff.
After that, I ended up spotting this shipping container up in the air and spent the rest of the evening trying to get inside it.
Jump! Oh, I made it.
Once I finally did, I was rewarded with another power cell and some rebar.
6, 7, 8, 9.
With all the extra power cells, my room was starting to get a little too radioactive, and just hanging out in there was making me sick. So I headed back to Flathill to grab something I needed to make a radiation-proof hazard crate, this magazine stand. But I broke it. Luckily, there was another one right in the giant's path, and I carefully waited to grab it, this time more successfully. Now I can store the power cells without them slowly killing me. On day 69, I fought back through the respawned rats and opened this class 2 door, which almost seemed to trigger the strange air warning. I hope I didn't just let more new monsters in. I moved back to clear out these guards again, and the XOR, so I could open up yet another Class 2 door. Not that I did anything with it yet, but by then it was getting dark and I had some visitors to expect. I waited a while for the monsters to come before giving up and going to bed. Then that morning, I took on the security boss again, this time with a different strategy. Since I was almost out of darts and crossbow bolts,
whoa,
I had no choice but to fight it up close. It was easier than expected with my shield, and I went back to base for a fun surprise. Now the monsters were coming. Ah.
Warning, biological incursion detected.
Well, I've been wanting to try this new peccary sausage recipe anyway. Too bad they couldn't stay for lunch. I used some leather scraps from the rat suit to make this fancy forge helmet and bought some steel cable from the blacksmith for the chest plate. Wearing 2 pieces of the forge set has the added bonus of bullets occasionally bouncing off. Now I just need the legs. It was heavy too, but since I've been carrying those tables around, that was no problem. Oh, and look, I can upgrade my screwdriver to a drill now. All geared up and finally ready to make some progress, I accidentally dropped my mallet on the tram and lost it on my way to manufacturing. Great. So much for that. I still had my pistol, but not much ammo, and decided to explore a little anyway. The door I'd opened the day before led to a big road with a very blocked off surface tunnel and a few different directions I could go. None of them looked very appealing though. I took the tram home and made myself a new hammer before coming back, trying the door behind this yellow pump that needed a fiber optic cable I didn't have.
And cautions for your destiny.
There, I found a guard that clearly had a different gun. I panicked and ran in, smashing him with my hammer. Thankfully, this seemed to stop him from shooting me for a moment, but not for long. Shoot, that was a close one. Trying to stay alive definitely wasn't getting any easier, so I continued my very cautious crawl of the manufacturing area on day 72 with the radioactive green place next. It was full of XOR and I collected plenty of good resources. Then I eventually found my way to this guy named Hank.
Look, this place ain't healthy. But you need to head through the mines to the surface tunnel. There's no reason to stick around here.
As I left, I hacked this main door for easier access, careful not to step in the slime. I made myself this new spear the next morning. According to my journal, the military people are weaker to sharp weapons, and I wanted to give it a try. I tested it out on the usual garage guy first, before taking it to the rooms behind Hank. I'd restocked on darts finally, and used those on the first guy. Then took out the 2 downstairs.
Hostiles, been down.
Where the door simply led out onto the main street that I'd been to before. I was tired and headed back early. It was supposed to be another one of those nights, so after a quick nap, I stayed up cooking and carried my tables, waiting for a notification that never came. Until I took the tram the next morning anyway. As the tram passed by, I could see the under attack symbol, and there it went. I took the tram back and headed over to find nothing at first. Then I saw them coming in through the locker room. It was the usual 3, and I cleared them out easily enough before heading back over to manufacturing. After that detour, I didn't get too much done. When I got home, though, I made myself 2 new guns, the scrap shot and the pipe pistol. I was starting to run low on my 9mm ammo, but you can craft the ammo for these. I spent day 75 just getting experience, taking out all of the respawn baddies and manufacturing I could find. I'd had a few close calls, and I wanted to build up a little before moving on. Then on day 76, I decided I could save a lot of time if I just moved to manufacturing and started working on that. I grabbed the workbench from my second base, along with a few other things, and took them to the room above the blacksmith. When I got the main things set up, I continued past the yellow pump again, where I sprained my ankle trying to sneak up on this rat. He got away, but this time the guard at the top was much easier to deal with. This left me feeling more confident, and I tried to sneak around a tougher-looking guard I could see through the window until I saw the laser of a sniper appear. I ran back, and they shot at me, missing. As I headed back for a second look, the guard came around the corner, giving me a heart attack. Well, at least he's out of the way now. That sniper still isn't, though. I gave up getting around him for now, taking the tram back to the cafeteria, where I built some of these new medium storage boxes. It was on day 77 I finally realized the tram had storage, and I loaded it up with everything I wanted to take to the new base. Once I got it all set up, I tried again to sneak past the sniper. Nope, not today. Instead, on day 78, I went through the radioactive slime rooms and found my way down into a cave. It was almost like the portal world was seeping through here. I killed a couple creatures, but I'm pretty sure something else killed this peccary, and it wasn't long till I found out what it was. I could see what looked like some sort of nest with insects buzzing around it, and curiosity got the best of me when I threw a dart at it. Well, now I know at least. I took a vent next to another area with more creatures, a pond, and another power cell. I didn't think too much on pulling this one since it wasn't in the creepy, foggy Flathill. So I jumped a little when the big boom hit for this portal. It looked like it went off into space too, and I didn't go through. Just wait till you see where it goes. Somehow, day 79 ended up being all about food, which I really don't mind. I leveled up my cooking, stole a fridge for my new base, added a chef's counter, and fed my coworker friend who must have followed me here. When I got ready to go out the next morning, I opened the door and he attacked. Or, I thought he was attacking. Why is he crawling so fast? And then he just vanished. Back to the cave then. I made myself a beekeeper suit from one of the rat suits, and was able to whack down the bees this time. It dropped a queen bee, honey, and beeswax. Then I spent the rest of the day fishing in the pond there, catching portal and moonfish, which gave me some interesting new stuff when I chopped it up. As I was cooking it that evening, I stayed outside too late and went in to find Coworker waiting for me.
Boy, I hope it's Pizza Friday.
I'm not sure what the deal is with him, but I definitely wasn't going to let him sleep inside.
Thanks for the num-nums, pal.
So I let him out with some food and shut the door. Good night. I'd discovered some new stuff, but none of it really helped me very much in escaping, so I decided to suck it up and go through that space portal I'd found up in the tunnel with Kovac, which dumped me right in the water. It freaked me out a lot until I realized it was just the pond in the cave. And of course, the portal there just sent me right back, so I'd been all afraid of them for nothing. Maybe I should go back to the sniper room. This time I found a way around to this ladder where I could see a power cell and a guard in the next room. Apparently, he saw me too. I didn't find much in the room, just more emails to check and that power cell. I grabbed it and made a quick trip back to the cafeteria that evening for my hazard crate. At this point, the portal storm nights were all mixed up. I got a warning in the new base, but nothing ever came.
Access detected. Caution advised.
I went back to the building with Hank the next day, finally making my way to the enemies at the top. At the door, there were two guards, and they had the high ground on these stairs,
We will destroy you, you
making it really difficult to take them out. When I finally did, I moved on to find two more after that. It was a tough fight too, and they almost took me out with a grenade. I was more careful after that, picking them off with my pistol. This second fell off the building and right into the abyss. I followed a walkway from there, right into the sniper who was quick to try and shoot me in the face. Luckily he missed and I came back with a slushy attack. When I hacked him up, I got his head and took it back to make this sniper's cowl. It didn't seem any better than my current forge helmet, but I did notice it gives you this Kevlar scrap when you salvage it, which I can use for these new tech bandages. Nice. I got surprised by a security bot on my way to the bathroom on day 83. Then with the sniper gone, I was free to explore the area better. I didn't really find anything interesting and ended up feeling brave enough to finally approach the open crossroads, only to find all the baddies were gone. I think they might have ran in when I was fighting guards the day before and I just hadn't realized it. In the back of one of their trucks, I finally found a crate I had a key for. I didn't have it on me, of course, and ran back to get it, opening this ornate crate to find all sorts of goodies inside. Most excitingly, this new little trinket, the Sigil of the Hearth, which I equipped for faster speed in combat and extra ammo drops from enemies. Tired of the same old grind, I decided to head back to Flathill the next day. I wanted to take on the super creepy hallway monster, then go drop down the vent if I managed to survive. I got off to a great start, falling out of the treehouse, then snuck my way past the giants, which are actually called composers, according to an email I'd found, and the thing I was going to fight is called a symphonist. Terrified, I peeked around the corner, and it was definitely still there. Guess it's now or never. I started with a slushy bomb and my pistol, then completely panicking when it crawled after me, I couldn't even reload and switched to my spear. It was a crazy fight. The monster rolled into me, made multiples of itself, and even threw me across the room. Switching over to my hammer at the end, I finally managed to defeat the awful thing, collecting its head and some porcelain shards. You know what? I think I'll come back for the vent tomorrow. The air was strange again, of course, and I was ready for the portals or monsters to come, but instead, there was a radio crackle this time, followed by some of the military guys to fight. I stocked up on more healing syringes and scrap shot ammo, then headed back to Flathill on day 85. Finally time to go down that vent. It dropped me into a bowling alley where I expected to find something dangerous. Instead, all I found was a bunch of nachos. There was a message from Mance upstairs, and the second power cell right there on the rooftop. Pulling it opened another portal, and after being terrified of all the portals that ended up being not so bad, this time I jumped right through, into a very dark room. I couldn't see anything at first and turned on my flashlight. Then I heard the giant footsteps of one of the composers. Of course, this is the dangerous portal. I hit an event as it passed and had a quick peek inside at what looked like a library before turning around and jumping right back through the portal. I'll come back another time. With plenty of nachos from the bowling alley, I went back to my pest trap that night. It took 2 before some hearts appeared, and then I was able to name my new buddy, Meat Spike Tato. Isn't he cute? I hadn't really needed the power cell. Marion had said something about taking all 3, so that was 2 down and 1 to go. I'd had enough of that place though and didn't go back the next day, instead finally venturing into the mines. The bright lights shining at its entrance made it hard to see, and I worried there'd be guards. But the guard tower was empty and there was no one near this truck either, except this cute little bobblehead. I went up the stairs into another room to find the floor covered in blood, and this unlucky guard in the elevator with a monster I hadn't seen before. I checked the emails there, finding some interesting info about something that will eventually grow big enough to destroy our universe, and a warning to stay away from the mines, which I'm sure definitely means I'll have to go there. But first, I think I'll see what's up this road with the surface sign. If only it was that simple. I was blinded by lights as I came over the hill, and I could see the outline of what looked a lot like one of the rat enemies.
Do not shoot! Do not shoot! We are together in this petition.
This one didn't run or shoot at me, instead giving me some interesting info.
We came here to cleanse and protect, but this chaos is beyond our capacity to suppress. We are beset by demons from the depths of the mines, and that termagant Frake has holed herself up in the processing plant. I must warn my brethren, this course is impossible. But our engineers collapsed this tunnel to ensure no egress. We need another way to bring tidings of this terror to the tribunal. Frake is concealing the escape from us, I am sure of it. She hides in her fortress, letting us rot here.
Off to the mines then. At the entrance was a building I slowly approached, checking for any creatures. It all looked clear until I saw the glimmer of something inside.
No?
Nope. I think I'll just see what's up here first. There was a carbuncle and peccary, then a new type of box to break with something extra shiny inside. These chains. Feeling excited at the progress, I decided it was worth it to take on the creepy invisible thing. I was careful to keep my shield up as I approached and started shooting. It was a spidery looking creature that thankfully seemed to want to keep its distance just as much as I did. Me too. You just stay over there. It curled up and burst into a cloud of dust when it died, which I thought might kill me too, but it only left this powdered crystal behind. After that, I checked the time. I definitely don't want to end up down here in the dark.
Oh, no. It is almost nighttime. We need to go back.
Yep, time to go home. The chains helped me unlock all sorts of new things. These new forged greaves were first on my list to craft, finishing my armor set. It took almost all of my chains to make them, and I headed back the next morning for more. I explored the mines and collected as much as I could carry before heading back to make my first air compressor. This unlocked something completely unexpected: exercise equipment. All this time I've carried the tables around. This is way better.
Wow, that's crazy.
I was also able to use one to make this grinder. I took it back with me into the mines, where I found a green pump that needed an optic lens to fix, before running into another of the invisible things.
Oh, I hate it. Oh, okay, it's fine.
I tested the grinder on it, getting a little nervous when I realized they were ricocheting off the walls when I missed. Reminds me of a gun from another game I used to play back in the good old days.
Oh, be careful there. Okay. Ooh, I hate you. If it wasn't quiet, I don't think I would mind it so much. Stop it.
After dealing with it, I explored a little more, finding some sort of little bug coming out of a strange mine, another box guarded by this guy, and then a nice little pond I finished the evening fishing in. The next day, I traded the blacksmith for the optic lens, which also unlocked some very exciting new things.
Oh, the freaking headlamp.
Yeah, you good.
Then I took the lens to fix the pump. Nothing happened, but according to my journal, there's another pump to find, so I continued exploring the rest of the mines. In these shafts, I found another of the horrible invisible spider guys to fight. Not much else though, so I continued up these stairs, where I found this locked gate door and then a locked tram station. Ooh, I'd already made that tram key back at my base. For now though, I wanted to go ahead and find that red pump. I still needed a piece for the yellow pump too, and was keeping an eye out for anything new. When I started getting close to the marker, I noticed two people showing up with my employee locator and headed there first.
They're with the research division, don't shoot!
Where I finally got to meet Dr. Frake.
Talk to Frake, okay?
Now you've made it this far. Those savages have blocked every exit. They even collapsed the surface tunnel. But remember what happened in 85? When the kinetics team overloaded the Secretron? They triggered a singularity that carved a hole clean through to the next sector. We could do it again right now, if these damn quakes hadn't broken the electron pumps. But
So that's why we're fixing the pumps. Blowing an exit hole. As I checked the red pump, the air felt strange again. That night I worked out while I waited and heard a warning over the intercom.
Biological incursion detected. Please alert defense team personnel.
But nothing ever attacked. I suppose I really can't complain about that. While I stepped out though, Coworker snuck in.
Mondays, am I right?
I put him out for the night and finished my workout.
Frake wants to blow a hole in the floor. She's too smart for her own good sometimes.
Then went to talk with the blacksmith, and now he had the fiber optic cable I'd been needing for the yellow pump, along with the diode for the red pump. I've just got to figure out what I need to trade for. That day was a busy one. I got a cracked shoulder light to finally make myself a headlamp, fought the security bot that was wandering around, made a trip back to the caves for honey when I finally saw what the little orange things do, then took the honey to make some throwing crystals like the invisible thing threw. I took the orange pot after that and used it to jump over this fence. hacked open this gate with my security pad, and used the tram key to unlock the tram. Inside it was a portal with a different looking guard watching over it, then a couple more of the usual guards and the tram. I sent it off, assuming it would be at the cafeteria. I don't know why, it just freaks me out to get on one and not know where it's going. The place had a few interesting emails too, including one about my best friend Coworker. Apparently he's not a person at all. I went back the next day and dealt with the fancy-looking guard and his friend. With only 10 days left, I didn't have any time to waste debating on whether or not to go through this portal. Inside it, I found myself on some sort of train.
Tell me, what is the purpose of this train's perpetuity? What disaster accrues if it halts?
The auto system.
There was a guard standing behind the engineer, and I tried walking across the top first, but the smoke wouldn't let me. Luckily, the guard was so busy yelling, they didn't even notice me walking by.
You cannot comprehend
the effects.
Your gatekeepers will not help you now.
On the next train car was a pocket watch and another guard. This one was paying attention.
Hostile.
This poor guy on the next car was... I found axle grease and a car battery charger there. Hopefully something from here I can trade to the blacksmith for the stuff I need. You know, seems like he'd just give it to me so we can all get out of this crazy place. The next car's door was blocked and I couldn't figure out the fairly obvious way to go next, going back to see if I could trade any of my new treasures. The axle grease got me the diode, but I still haven't found whatever I need for the fiber optic cable.
That ought to do it.
I made this new crystalline vial next, which reveals invisible entities. Are there other invisible things? I took the diode to fix the red pump on day 91 and finished exploring the area. I found more emails, one about whatever this creepy thing is. I'm sure I'll get to meet it soon enough. I followed the pipes down this tunnel, finding a giant cone-shaped thing, which I suppose is the synchronotron we're trying to blow up. I took this elevator and explored, dealing with one guard and unlocking a few doors, eventually finding my way back up to this room I'd been through before. After that, it was time for a quick snack break before heading back to the train. I needed a nap at that point and slept on the couch there. This time, I saw the path I'd missed immediately, climbing up and on top of the train to get to the next car, where I fought more guards and found some silver. Maybe this will trade for the cable I need. This car held even more guards in front of a door with a radiation warning. Lately, I'd taken to just wearing my suit everywhere and went right inside. The guard there was tougher and dropped his captain's beret when I defeated it, leading to another car with a giant laser inside. I dealt with the enemies there easily enough, making my way to the end of the train. Despite the silence, I was certain there was something horrible behind this last door to fight. Plus, the air was strange and it was getting late. So I turned around, deciding I'd come back to deal with whatever was behind it tomorrow. It ended up being an uneventful night. Well, except for Coworker giving me this stapler. I'd hoped the blacksmith would trade the silver scrap, but it was still just a big question mark, and I headed back to the train. I made it through a few respawned enemies first, and eventually back to the door. Behind it was just this guy using the back. Out the back was a portal and a sneaky spider on the roof. Well, so much for that. Thinking I must have missed something somewhere, I went back to the mines. There was another invisible guy to fight, which had me a little jumpy. And when I saw this strange little gray guy, I wasn't sure if it would try to kill me or not. It looked like a little box on legs, and its name was the Moving Box. It made me nervous though, and I didn't trust it, especially when it started following me around. Okay, I think it's time to go home. Thankfully, it didn't follow me there, and as I passed the blacksmith, I remembered the boiling pot next to him. It was solder, and according to my soup recipes, it's made with silver scrap. I put it on to cook the next morning. When it was done, it unlocked a few things, but most excitingly, it was exactly what I needed to trade for the cable.
Most of what I need's around here somewhere.
All that searching and the answer had been sitting there the whole time. I took it to fix the yellow pump and spent the evening preparing for what I assumed might be a fight. With all 3 pumps fixed, it was time to try and blow up the synchronotron. Dr. Frake was there waiting and seemed pretty excited about the whole thing.
I have to admit, you surprised me. I had to come and see this for myself. You gonna do the honors?
I was nervous, but hit the button anyway, expecting some sort of creature to come through after the explosion.
Oh my...
But instead, it just left a big black hole. Worried of what I might find behind it, I put it off, telling myself I needed to tie up a couple other loose ends first. I'd never followed this road to the mapping center, and spent the rest of my day clearing it out. I found some interesting new emails, a couple of guards, an XOR, and then almost got sniped when I tried to grab this power cell. He tried his darndest to kill me after that, so I went back and returned the favor. By the time I was finished, it was late, and since there were cots there, I just stayed the night. There was another sniper too I found the next morning before taking this forklift for a ride. It was back to my cafeteria base after that, where a nice welcoming party was waiting. After welcoming them, I made myself a new exercise bike and took it back to my base at the blacksmith's. Now I guess I need to go finish up in Flathill. Marion had mentioned taking all 3 power cells, and I'd already found 2, leaving 1 more. So I found myself taking the portal back into the dark, giant library. It was terrifying, and I was careful trying to find my way. I almost got caught a couple times before eventually finding a set of doors that led me outside. There was another building I could enter, where I found more emails, a message from Mance, and an elevator I called before leaving for the night. The ladder down let me unlock this gate, and the next day I was able to come right back to this place, and when I got there, I was surprised to see a symphonist waiting. I thought it might have come up on the elevator, which would have been horrifying if I'd been waiting. Instead, I was able to start the fight on my own terms at least. Not that it helped much. He ran me all the way downstairs, where I ended up hiding in the bathroom, afraid I was going to die. Oh, I guess he died.
Ooh, thank you.
I took the elevator down next and found myself looking right at the feet of a composer. I brought this symphonist scarecrow made from the symphonist head and tried setting it up, but I clearly hadn't read the instructions right. It only works for the symphonists. I ended up getting its attention and then making a run for it when it gave up and turned around. There was a vent to crawl through to this room, then got spotted sneaking across to this next vent.
Whoa, no, don't reach in here and get me.
Eventually, I found my way to this door and did a terrifying parkour run right behind the monster.
I don't know, but I've come this far. I'm going.
It was worth it, leading me to the rooftop and the 3rd power cell.
Pulling it. Let's go.
I was nervous about what might happen when I took it.
Jump.
But it just made one last portal appear that took me back to level 3. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic, though I don't remember there ever being an XOR in the hallway here. On day 98, I finally went back to the explosion and found my way through a hole it had made in the floor.
Janet, you always say my science is out of control. This project is different.
Are you sure about this, Abe?
Of course I'm sure, Janet. I should be able to... Aha! Oh no. Janet, run, Janet.
This definitely looks like it's gonna be a fun place. I continued shocking myself on this tram track and finding another locked station, then getting another shock when I found this creepy thing that almost seemed to be waiting for me. As I pulled my gun out, it made a sound and vanished. Layak? There were signs all over about the same floating creature I'd just seen, and this X-ray tower that was pointing at a ball called Layak Essence.
Despite its appearance,
It had never returned after disappearing, but I have a feeling it won't be the last I see of it. The moving box found me again too, and I found this new sort of tram elevator up to the wildlife pens. It was getting late, and I knew that this connected to level 1 of the office sector, remembering the sign, so I hustled ahead, using my keypad to hack open the doors, and managing to get back just before dark. I wasn't the only one here though. Something had followed me home. The Layak just let itself in, then floated there as I loaded my gun before disappearing again. Except it had also brought a friend, one of the invisible spider guys. Nice. I read about the Layak the next morning. Apparently you just stare at it to make it go away. I don't want to know what happens if it does manage to sneak up on you. It was day 99 now, and at this point I knew there was no way I was escaping this place by day 100, but I had managed my goal of staying alive. It just slowed me down a lot. This game does a great job of making everything seem extra scary, and I'm a big chicken, so that didn't help much. I spent the last of my days exploring, keeping an eye on Mr. Floaty, fighting this much faster purple security bot, unlocking a ton of new stuff, and then on the final day discovering this crazy gunk-covered door and these extra tough green XOR that almost ended my run. Shh, the Layak is back. He's kind of starting to grow on me. Not as much as Coworker, though. I think I'm gonna miss him.
Creme de la creme.
Let me know in the comments what game you want to see me play next, and then if you liked this one, be sure to go check out one of my other 100 Days stories.